tonight's topic, guys, is gratitude, being grateful even when things aren't going as planned. So
Hmm.
I feel like, Brian, you kind of almost touched on this unintentionally with talking about how your year's not going, it's better than how it started, but not exactly where you want to be.
Right.
Hmm.
But definitely, I'm sure there's still things that you are grateful for regardless.
Absolutely. I'm grateful for the Red Barn that I jumped into because it actually rejuvenated a lot. Bringing in leads, the way that they brought them in is okay, this is sweet. And then the camaraderie, the community, all of it that has joined around me in that, I was like, okay, very grateful for my community, very grateful for my communities because I'm in several. And the people that I have linked arms with, I'm very grateful for that. That's the thing is that's what I love about what we do is we do have great people around us. So I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah,
Nice.
there's always something, right? Like I could literally,
Hmm.
I put it on the list for a reason. I could talk about it all the time because you're never gonna get past whatever it is if you don't find something to be grateful for in it. Yeah, I'm really glad this is our topic today.
Yeah, I would say for me, I've had, I guess just this year alone, being able to travel in our van was something that I had been waiting for and like ready for since 2022. And it didn't go as planned. Initially, we were supposed to spend the entire year of 2023 traveling, and we were able to just do, in total this year, we did 4 months, which was cool. And even just that alone, I'm super grateful for. I think everything works out the way that it's supposed to. And there's obviously a reason. And I've seen it last year. It turned into something I couldn't even have imagined with just jumping into a real estate community and all the people that I met through that and all the meetups we were able to go to and all the things we've learned in the last year. And so, yeah, I think it's pretty cool. That experience in and of itself showed me how it's okay if things don't work out exactly the way that I was picturing them to. And I think that was a hard thing for me at first to really come to grips with was because in my head I was so stuck on I want to do it for a full year. I want to do it this way. But at the end of the day, I'm just glad that I was able to do it. That's some people's bucket list dream items to be able to travel and to see the things that we saw. And that in and of itself, I'm just grateful for. Monica, how about you?
Yeah, life is never what you think it's going to be. And
Hmm.
once you just recognize that's what it is, you can find things to be grateful for. I end every single night and start every single day with gratitude. When I lay down, I go over the things that happened that day, my wins for the day, and give thanks. And then before I fall asleep, I try to think of the things that I want to win tomorrow and how grateful I am for them already coming into place. And then in the morning, I'll sit down and go over my calendar and write down three things that I'm grateful for. They're usually the same things that I was hoping to accomplish that same day. That way I can stay on track. But I'm just grateful. Like we have such a great community. I have an amazing group of friends. Yeah, just I could go on and on. Life is amazing. And we have endless things to be grateful for.
I like that. Emily, you got anything to share?
I guess I still haven't heard back from my interview from last week. They're still trying to make a decision, but I know I'm grateful for knowing how to interview well. I'm
Yep.
grateful for that. And then also, like, I used to think practicing gratitude was dumb. Oh, I don't need that. But if I didn't start that in the beginning of this year when I was going through a tough time, I feel like I would have still been a lot more pessimistic. I think that kind of goes hand in hand with gratitude and reframing because I had to do a lot of reframing and rewiring of the brain to
Hmm.
get that going. So I try to implement that every day. I do like the end of the day thing, like reflecting. I think that's important. So I'll try that too. That sounds good.
Yeah, because it's hard not to find something to be grateful for. You know what I mean? Whatever it is, I found a great parking spot, or it was the sun came out today. There's literally something you can be grateful for. The fact that I'm laying in this comfortable bed, there's just endless things. And to go back to what you said, where it's been helping you reframe things, there's a saying that says gratitude is the bridge between pessimism and optimism. Like literally, it can help you be more optimistic. And we create literally everything in our environment. like all the time. And so if you see things in a way that is more optimistic, more positive, and not like sugarcoating it, not like toxic positivity where it's just, life is amazing. No, my literally my life is amazing. Do you know how horrible it could be? But just being able to find the light in crazy circumstances or shitty situations and recognizing that it is the bridge to something better, whatever it is, can just help you reframe almost anything.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool talking about the perspective of it because I've just recently I'm trying to let go, right? Because the topic is talking about how when things aren't going as planned. And I think I'm just realizing that I've tried to plan so much of my life, even though I know it never goes as planned, but you still, it's like you want to have this control over it and
Of course.
being able to take a step back and just being grateful for where I'm at. So for example, yes, I'm not where I want to be 100% financially like that. And sometimes that's a stress for me. For the longest time, I was like, I don't want to have a kid unless we have our land already and we're building our house, not like trying to set all these stipulations. And then I was like, why am I doing that? I just need to just, if this is what I want to do, let's just jump into it because we're going to figure out the rest. But it's interesting because it's so easy to almost like complain. I think that's how our society is almost raised to be like, oh, if it's not the way we want it, then it's not good. But I had literally had to take myself back and be like, I get to create my own schedule every day. Like that in and of itself is something people don't get to do sometimes in their entire lives. And
Luxury.
oh my goodness. Oh, Raul. No, I'm working on it. Not yet. It's funny. But yeah, no, just that in and of itself, I think I had that epiphany today where I'm like, I just need to be happy with where I'm at and not stress out. Enjoy the ride, whatever it looks like, whatever's thrown my way. And yeah, I think having that perspective change of it definitely helps with that.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Because it's hard to, I think sometimes we can confuse plans with standards. You think, oh, this is just a standard. I need to know that I've accomplished this and that I'm at a place where I feel comfortable with this. And you call that your standard, but really it's just a plan, right? Your standard would be like stability. I think you guys are stable,
Yeah.
versus the plan of what that stability looks like can be completely different than what it actually ends up being. I mean,
Yeah.
you guys could literally just grab this kid and hop in the van. You guys have stability.
Yeah.
So I think it's easy to blur the line between standards and plans and get down on yourself because you haven't completed the plan.
It's just so funny how our brains are wired that way to be like, I want it this way and this way only, even though
Mm-hmm.
we're not allowing ourselves to be open to the what else. Like you hear people talk about how my plan versus God's plan or whatever you believe, like it's
Yeah,
always going to be better. The universe is working for you in a way that you can't even imagine. And so allowing yourself to just let go and embrace that it's not going to be exactly how you have it pictured because it's probably going to be even better.
right.
Avita, it's good to see you.
Hi. I know I was finishing up a call, but I saw this. For some reason, I caught it on my notification stand. I was like, that sounds lovely. I want to join this.
I love it.
So
I
thanks.
see Corey's in a construction zone, so I'm happy to see he got in here. There's no ceiling.
Yeah, man. I looked at the time and I was like, oh my God, like I'm 20 minutes late. So I apologize for that. Oh my gosh.
Is
How's
this your
everybody?
flip or just an AC job?
This is a flip. This is a flip. Been going ham here all day, all night, all day, all night.
The life of
Mm.
an entrepreneur in real estate.
Yeah, man. It's it's all about the gratitude for sure. Easy to get just crazy. It's easy to get crazy and tons of emotions all the time. But I think showing gratitude to myself is huge because
You're doing shit people wish they could do.
oh
You
hey.
know? I'm being serious. There's people who like can't wait for their first flip, and you're out here like this fucking flip. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
the second you switch that up to I get to do this is my whatever number flip, and that's massive and something to definitely be grateful for.
man, I am all about I'll tell you what I know. You know what I mean? And I think that's a big part of my gratitude. Like I have no problem. There are no secrets with me. You know what I mean? Like when it comes to real estate. And I would tell anyone, anytime, everything I know. And you learn that way too, because there's other people that know stuff that or have been through
Gave you
something.
knowledge.
Yeah, man. So that's, you never know. Like I said, I love to say you never know who's holding that key for that next door that you need open. And so I think just being kind, not only to yourself, but to everyone else, man. And I've come across people that don't want to share their success and because they may feel like, oh, if I tell this person or that person, then it's all going to be over with for me. Or so I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I've come across some people that just, they're not like that. So I always made it a point.
They don't have an abundance mindset.
I
Okay,
was waiting for him to finish to be like, lack mindset.
do that. And it's just crazy that's out there. What do you gain from that? I don't understand. I never understood that. I'm always about telling everyone like what I know. And I'm good to admit like what I don't know and to ask questions too,
Mm-hmm.
man. But yeah, and I say that all to say is if you wish you had a flip, you want a flip, come talk to me. You know what I mean? Come talk to me. I'll tell you exactly what I'm doing. And you'd be surprised. It's like I'm not doing anything like super special. It'd be like, and I have a long way to go. I have a long way to go. But yeah, it can very easily feel like things are out of control sometimes.
They
And
are.
yeah,
Things are always out of control. Once
that's
you
true.
embrace it, like that's literally all you have to do is like switch that mindset. So things
Yeah,
are sometimes out of control. They feel no, they are out of control.
that's true.
They are.
You're absolutely right. Yeah, I guess when it may feel like it's super thick, and if you get
It,
nervous or you just feel
mm-hmm.
like it's okay to not, you can't know this shit through
Mm-hmm.
and through. And
Yeah, because it's
it's
the
always been,
feeling like that nervousness and the worry. That's the part that sucks.
yeah,
It's things are pretty much always out of control. But when you start getting nervous about it, and hi, it happens to me all the time.
right.
That feeling of, oh my God, what's going to happen next? And shit, what if this happens? And what if that happens? And I don't know
Hmm.
what's going to happen next. And it can happen in your mind. And you just have to take that second or hour or day to just breathe through it and be like, I'm really grateful for the things that I can control and the things that I can just feel solid in, and then take the rest with a grain of salt.
Yeah, yeah, man.
You can control the things that you can do to make this flip work.
Yeah,
And
for
then
sure.
everything else is what it is.
That's true, man. That is true. We have been getting hit hard on this one out of the gates. And when I tell you, like,
This
I
is the foundation house.
yes, and I
Mm-hmm.
am 38 grand at this point. I can't say full 38, but at least $25,000, 26, 7, $8,000 out of that is unexpected. But the thing is, I will tell you this, and there are times where I have literally underwrote many deals, right? Many deals, and shit just doesn't work. And then you come with your offer and it's, hey, this is what it is. And it's actually been good at times because it's actually helped people out too. And I've had people cancel contracts because they just didn't really know what they got into. And well, not cancel, reassign.
Right.
But it's like there's at times there'll be a ton of deals, and I'm like, am I doing something wrong? Am I missing something? And then I feel like fuck, I want to get into that. I got to get going. But I've definitely practiced patience with that, and it pays off because it's for shit just like this. Imagine being 30 grand on some shit that you weren't expecting, and like you're able to do that. And does it suck? Yeah. And does it hurt? Not really. At the end of the day, like it does, but at the end of the day, like we're gonna be okay. You know what I mean? And I think
That's
that's
something to be grateful for right there.
yeah, man. So I feel really good about that. And so I think staying true to you is so important because every body is different, every deal is different. And yeah, go through 100 to get one if that's what you have to do. But yeah, just imagine if I wasn't the way that I was underwriting a deal, like I would be fucked right now, big time. And so I
Mm-hmm.
am very grateful for the questions that I've asked, the people that I've talked to, the meetings, the calls, like everything. Everything is a part of me right now and where I'm at. And
Yeah.
I'm right where I'm supposed to be. And it feels good to feel that. And I think even in the times where it's, you have that feeling of, yeah, things are fucking out of control. It's nerve wracking. Just staying true to yourself. Like you said, just if it takes a day, if it takes 5 minutes, whatever, you just got to stay true to yourself as long as you're moving the needle forward. And like
Right.
it takes many pieces, not just the, oh, I need to be in a flip. If, oh no, I need to be on that Transformation Tuesday call on time for one, and just everything, man. But it really is like what you make it, and being comfortable when the shit just doesn't go your way, like Jackie was saying, is where you really start, where you find value in yourself in those moments, man. And you really do. And I think over the last couple of years, I have really gotten very comfortable with being uncomfortable and shit, man. And so now it's, hey, let me get some more problems. Fuck it, give me some more problems. Give me some more problems. The good will come.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. I've learned so much this year, and back with trying to balance my life. It's so I'm grateful. I'm very grateful for everything that's in my life. You guys included. You gals, sorry.
Same. We'll take it.
True that. So I'm sorry that I missed some things earlier. So I don't want to cut off what vibes we're going, but I
We're just going down the line, see if anybody else has anything they're grateful for.
true that, man. I love that too. I love that.
If
That's
anybody else pops up, I was gonna say, Emily, even if I forgot to mention this earlier when you're talking on the job interview thing, even if for whatever reason that one doesn't work out, just think like you made it through that like scary thing of taking the time off and going to the interview and getting really good reception and making it to the however numberth interview. Even if this one isn't it, the next one's not gonna be any worse than the one that you just did.
That's right. And if it was meant to be, it's meant to be. So
Exactly.
yeah, definitely
Whatever.
shining some light on that for you. Definitely hoping for the best outcome there for you.
Absolutely.
Evita, do you have anything to share with us?
I'm like, I'm catching up on what we're supposed to be doing. So yeah, I can share. I was like, I'm like, I hear a lot of gratefulness. No, I love this. And to that point of, I've been hearing a lot of it stuck with me of what's meant for you won't miss you. And so
Hmm.
I think that's a huge reminder in this stuff. But I actually had the chance to last month read the book The Magic. And so it's like
Mm.
28 days of gratitude. And I think in some way, shape, or form, I try to be grateful. You try to remember those moments. But I think that was really good at creating some better habits or practices that's more intentional gratitude of like, how do you apply this to different parts of your life? I know, I think I heard you or someone else mention like practicing gratitude when you awake, practicing when
Hmm.
you sleep, or just little things. And so I think, yeah, at this point, I'm trying to remember every day, like you guys say, the things we take for granted of just like, hey, I chose this path. And sometimes it's hard, but like, I get to wake up and choose what I'm going to do every day. I get to choose who I'm going to be around to see stuff like this and go, I want to be around those people. Let's test this out. Or when you run into somebody that doesn't vibe with you, going, this is my business, I get to say thank you, but no thank you. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
grateful for everything I'm learning and all that I have and I get to do every day, the conversations I get to have. And yeah, so there's a lot to be grateful for sure.
Absolutely. I don't know if everybody on here has some sort of entrepreneurial venture that they're doing, but I have a feeling to some extent, maybe they don't. But I was just talking to a friend, and her boyfriend has a typical 9 to 5 job, and he just got his year-end review. And she was like, okay, I need you to help me reframe this for him because he's just having a really hard time. And he has a very nice job where he makes really good money, but he works around like certain people that just suck. And he got 3 very good reviews and then 1 shitty review from this just unpleasant, unkind person. And it was just like eating at him because it was like completely invalid. And I was like, listen, this is small potatoes. Who gives a shit what this girl thinks about you? You have a job where you work like very part-time and make very good 6-figure income. Who cares? You got 4 reviews, 3 were great, 1 was shitty. Have a nice day, Susan. You know what I mean? Who cares? Go back to watching Gilmore Girls and don't worry about it because you're getting paid. And she was like, I'll be back. And she went and told him because I was like, what are we talking about right now? But he had this idea like this year, I know I'm going to get all good reviews because
Mm.
the year prior, he had gotten some mixed reviews. And so this year, he was like, I know it's going to be good. And when he heard that one, he was like, what? I help her all the time. And I was like, it doesn't matter. She's unhappy. What do you care what Susan thinks about you? Did you lose your job? No. You didn't. So keep collecting your fat salary for working 20 hours a week. Stop. You'll be fine. So, yeah, she said
I
it really helped him just stop that spending that he was doing, like how to handle it, who we should talk to. And I was like, don't talk to anybody. You'll be fine.
It's so funny how easy we're in control of our reactions to things that happen to us, but sometimes we don't think about the control that we have. We just let the emotions take over. And
Absolutely.
to really catch yourself and retrain yourself to be like, okay, I control how I react to this situation. This is what I want out of it. This is how I'm going to approach it because that's the goal that I'm trying to reach. And that really, I think, just comes from you have to talk about it and make it known, hey, I'm working on this. And letting people around too, hey, if you catch me doing this, please point it out to me or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. It's crazy
Mm-hmm.
how we have, and everybody's on a different path or journey, whether it's how old we are, so you've had longer years that your brain's been a certain way, or just the different things that you've experienced, how it's affected you because of that, or how many siblings you grew up with, or whatever the case may be. But it's interesting that that's why I love the personal development aspect. And I think a mindset Zoom is so important on a weekly basis because we can have these conversations. I know I've gotten better because we've been consistent, but even in the beginning, I'd be like, man, we just talked about this yesterday and I'm already struggling with it today. What the heck? So it's cool to be able to see that and recognize it and help other people grow in that too.
Absolutely. And it's like important to, like you said, start creating that awareness. Because even though you were still struggling with it, you caught yourself. Like you
Mm,
weren't no longer mindless about it. And
hmm
I think that's like step number one.
Yeah.
Or even like in my friend's situation, like obviously he has all friends that all they do is complain about work. And so for him, it was really hard
hmm
because like they all were like, yeah, fuck Susan. You know what I mean? Like they wanted to hop on the run Susan over with the car train. And my friend was like, there's a way to work this out. And I was like, yeah, just every time she pops into your head, just be like, I'm really grateful for this job that I barely do any work for. And I make six figures. There are very positive things that you can thank yourself for. The fact that you can go stop and play tennis whenever you feel like it and put your little mouse. There's literally shit you plug into your computer and it'll move your mouse around. So it looks like you're doing work. That's what this man does. And he's over here worried about what Susan thinks. Like, why do we care? So I was like, be grateful for your mouse mover. Just there's multitude of things that we could focus on that has nothing to do with that woman.
And the scary
But it's
part of
having
that
that.
too is just that literally you just said it. That's how society is. They're like, oh, we need to be negative about this. Oh, that
Oh
didn't
yeah,
go
he
how
had
we.
plenty of that.
But it's that's such a scary place to be in because you're
Agreed.
exerting that energy and it's coming back to you. It's gonna be bigger than Susan. You're setting yourself up for more bad things to happen.
Stress, all the
hmm
things. You're driving, you're distracted because you're thinking about this, and just no, stop. Don't worry
Your
about it.
situation brings up two things to me. Of one, what we decide to make valid. Like we're talking about the awareness, but also sometimes it's like there's a difference between taking the feedback and going, oh, if you had the bad review, I haven't been as focused, guilty, whatever. But also, like, to your point, if there's a Susan out there that's just on one, also being able to like have the right people or have the right mentality to go, I know I'm a hard worker. I know it, whatever
Mm-hmm.
your self worth or belief is, and going, yeah, I'm gonna just choose to make sure I know that's not valid. Like that's a you thing. That's okay. And or if the second thing is like when situations are bad, like you said, the reality of our society is like everybody just gets in this like hamster wheel. You put your blinders on and we're like, oh, work has to be hard, or yeah, of course work's gonna suck. And what else are you supposed to do? We're gonna make a paycheck and nice to be rich, but what are you gonna do? And I feel like in situations like that, it's like, to your point, if that's the worst part and I still got my job, freaking cool, chill. But if not,
Freaking cool.
if it gets worse, or there's other things like to your point, Jackie, of this is just sucking the life out of you, or it's miserable. You also taking that moment to go, this is cush and it's great and I get paid well, but it's starting to take a toll on my life. Maybe I need to go pivot my environment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that self-responsibility, right? You are choosing to deal with the shitty parts because you're getting paid very well. That's a
Yeah.
choice. You could
That's
be us
okay.
struggling entrepreneurs who get to wake up whenever we feel like it and go for a walk, but I don't have a cushy salary that pays me every month. So there's, like you said, that balance, but know that a lot of that balance that happens or the give and take is choice.
Yeah.
So
It's what
recognizing that is huge. Once you start realizing, like the other day, I heard this saying that somebody was pissed about traffic and I was like, oh, I'm stuck in traffic. You are traffic. Like you are traffic. What are we talking about? You're in there. So the person behind you is bitching about you and you're bitching about the person in front of you. So stop being traffic. Like, you don't need to be a part of this. You don't need to have this mentality. Like you're traffic. What are we who's traffic? You are. So why are you complaining about something that you're participating in? Number one, like you could choose to not leave work for another hour, or you could, whatever it is, you could just be happy that you're on your way home. But having this like collective mentality that does nothing but create tension around you, and just breathe and recognize that like it's not outside of you. You're part of this.
yes. What is it? Whatever you choose, it's your fault.
Yeah,
Mhm.
whatever you're not changing, you're choosing.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. I think the whole concept of today too, like taking it a step further of from just gratitude, but to being grateful even when things aren't going as planned, like it goes right back to what we were saying of choosing your reaction to things and keeping yourself positive because, like we were saying, just because it didn't go as you planned doesn't mean that it's not better than what you had planned. And it might not look like that at the moment, but you just have to go through it and trust through it to be able to see that. So yeah,
Hmm.
definitely a lot of, and I think I'm excited for our meditation too, because I think setting that intention in our brains to help us carry that through all the things that we've got going on, it's huge.
Absolutely.
100%. That's well said, man. I like that. I love having choice.
Mm.
Aware of just having choices. I mean, definitely when I really zoom out to remember that, it definitely is. It's relieving. It is. It is. No,
Hmm.
no one's gonna push me over the edge. I'd have to jump or just turn around. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. And I like
Yeah.
to see it better than what when it actually is better than what you had originally thought or how you've seen it. Living proof of it.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. And having the gratitude to recognize you have choice. Because like somebody else, I think Avita said, just people on the hamster wheel, right? Just not recognizing that you can get off at any time. But they would rather just stay on and complain about being on it and
I
assume
feel
there
like
is
it's
no other
only
choice.
because, yeah, exactly, because they're that's what everybody else is doing. So
Mm-hmm.
that's all the option that they have. Yeah, that's why I'm pretty passionate about it. I just want to make sure that I'm putting it out there to as many people as I can, like, hey, you control your life. Like you can make it the way that you want to and really enjoy it the way that it's supposed to be enjoyed.
Mm,
Yeah.
that's deep. I love that.
I heard there was only three ways. There's only ways that you can deal with situations. It's called ACE. You can
Mm-hmm.
accept it, you can change it, or you can exit this situation.
Yeah.
Mm,
So
Exactly.
I
only
love
three.
that.
There's
That's awesome.
Exactly.
there's the five F's too. You got to remember the five F's of transformation. You know, like
I love it. I love any abbreviation. Give it to me.
I want to hear it.
okay, yeah, five F's of transformation is don't fight it, don't follow it, don't try to figure it out, don't try to forget it, and my favorite, like just don't fuck with it. You know what I mean?
I feel like you just made that up, but I am here for it all the way.
I feel
Well,
like he like half remembered it and was like, oh,
He freestyled it.
I
That's what
mean,
that last F is. It's fucking freestyle.
we respect it. We're here for it.
I'm, I'm gonna put this in the chat real quick. But you guys, here we go.
Pretty good.
Everybody else, but does that show up? No, that's blank.
Yeah, we can see that. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it's
You
blank,
see it?
but we can see it.
Oh
Faster
God,
than
It's
yes.
it's blank, but it's there.
let's see. I'm gonna do a little screen. All right, let me crop this real quick. Go.
Oh, I want to hear from Raul if he's there. That guy's a world traveler. He's out in like Colombia. I don't know if he's still there.
Yo, what's up?
Where are you at?
Back in Orlando, driving to a dance class.
It's
Oh,
definitely not as
nice.
exciting
Yeah,
as Columbia. I was
yeah.
excited for Columbia.
Aw.
Did you say dance class?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
That's
taking
nice. That's
salsa, tango.
salsa, but this is specifically a pachanga class that I'm going for.
Ooh.
It's like
Patonga?
pachanga. I don't know how to describe it. It's like a different movement. It's like you can use it in salsa. There's like a lot of different like specific
Actually, a little
movements.
flair, right? Adds a little
Yeah,
extra.
yeah, yeah. There's like different sounds in certain areas of some songs. And this was one I've been wanting to learn just because I like how that part of the music sounds and sometimes. So
Nice.
yeah.
I love it.
But yeah, I guess on the gratitude. Funny actually, because right before this call, I saw a reel from Donald Miller. I think he's the story brand guy,
Yeah.
and he was like, the two things like that you need for success is one, you need to want more, and the second is to be grateful for what you have. And even though
Mm.
that these are like conflicting things, you need to do your best to like have both in your life because one, you don't want to be complacent. You want to grow your life, but at the same time, be grateful for where you're at, what you have, your situation you're in, whatever it is. And I don't think I'm like super intentional about gratitude. Like I don't do three things I'm grateful for, which or things like that, which I want to start doing. It's more of I just have like general. I think I'm more aware of it when like bigger things happen or I see something and I'm like, wow, like I'm glad I witnessed that or I'm glad I was in this situation or I'm glad I met these people. But I think it's hard to pinpoint, but I don't have whenever something bad happens, I'm not as doom and gloom. There might be a moment of, oh man, this sucks, but then I'm just like, I get to work through this. I get to do whatever.
That's
That
your
get to.
positivity. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think the thing, like, not shoot the thing that I don't like when something doesn't work out is when it's because I didn't make a choice or I didn't take action on something. That's when I truly am like, when I feel really down. That's when I'm like, oh man, not grateful because it was something I didn't do, which I was like wanting to do, but I just didn't end up doing it for whatever reason. Maybe I was scared to do it, or I was like, oh, maybe I'll
Mm-hmm.
wait a little longer. And then because I waited, I missed the opportunity. Things like that is when I'm like, I get down. But when it's like something that happens to me where I was like out of my thing, out of my control, generally not very as upset.
Yeah. I feel like that's like your inner guidance being like, see, should have taken that chance. You should have
Exactly.
tried it. So I feel like you could be grateful for that signal. What is this feeling telling me? This feeling is telling you you should have did it. You should have did it.
Exactly. And then I try
So,
to frame my mind where I'm like, imagine, let's say I'm gonna buy a ticket for something, and I'm like, oh, maybe I'll wait a little longer. And then I try to put myself in the mindset of, imagine I missed a chance to buy this ticket. How would I feel? Would I be like relieved, or would I be like,
mm-hmm.
oh shoot, I should have bought it when I first looked at it or whatever. So things like that. I try. Sometimes it's not the easiest to like think about it until it actually happens, but sometimes that helps out.
Good to think about things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it definitely keeps your, especially when say if you didn't do it or you don't do it, and maybe there's even another chance at some point or every day. Just depends on what it is, right? I think also it keeps your foot in the door when at least you're aware of that, right? And then sometimes you just have to accept maybe it just wasn't the way, this is the way it was supposed to go. And just, it's funny just how things work out sometimes, man. Funny. We had a property that we have been desperate to sell, right, for a couple months now. And we just weren't getting any showings even at one point. And all of a sudden, and this was even like before it slowed way down with showings, we had somebody look at it 3 times and just still didn't, no contract. Went through a little dry spell, still marketed it. We had another guy look at it 3 times. By the third time, he put an offer out there, and we were ready to. We countered, but not by much. And it was like, okay, we're getting it done. Not like thrilled, but anyways, this guy backed out over 5 grand and said he was going to keep looking or wait for the market to come down. Is what it was. Same day we had a showing, and they came to look at it the next day. 2 showings, same person, and nothing. The next day, we had literally the next day, and these are all happening like within. This was all last week, and then through the weekend. And then Sunday was the third person, and saw it the first time, put in an offer. And this offer is 17,000 more dollars than what we would have accepted,
Hmm.
what we were going to be okay with. So it's in the just to think like the nerves and get through this contingency and whatever. And on the first one, and then but we didn't even have a signed contract yet. And then to find out he backed out was like, fuck, man. And just so I'm glad, because at one point I was even thinking like, damn, I wish we would have got that contract. But
Mm-hmm.
a few days later, 17,000 more dollars have been offered. And so that was, it's gonna happen when it's gonna happen. Like, you can't stop what's coming, but just being patient. That's what I've learned.
Hmm.
Being patient, not even being negative at all, not feeling
Mm-hmm.
to those worries and those doubts and those negative stories. And it's crazy just how many thoughts we have every day. Was it like
Nonstop.
80,000 thoughts a day?
Something ridiculous. Yeah.
And
And
they say like 70% are negative,
yeah,
something
Right.
like that.
Habitual negative.
yeah, it's
Like when we try to reframe ourselves, we also have to be patient with ourselves because we've been in a program of 70,000 negative thoughts a day that are habitual and just pop into your head without you even trying. The stuff, the more aware you become and the things that you start catching popping into your mind, you're like, what is wrong with you? Like, why would you say that to me? I'm your brain. What are you doing? But the more you start catching it, you're like, yeah, no, thank you.
that's
And
Mhm.
it.
move on.
Like smoke out of it.
But exactly. And I feel like the best we can do is make our best choice possible with the information that we have and then accept what happens and forgive the rest. That's literally the process every day.
Yeah.
Make the best choices you can with the information you have, accept what happens with those choices, and then forgive the rest.
Yeah, and it's if you just keep your foot in the door, no matter what, like the number of probability, you do something enough, like it's gonna stick, it's gonna work, it's gonna be the best fucking thing you ever did. You know what I mean? But like switching to the next, and sometimes that's how it goes. Just as
Mm-hmm.
your energy, your frequency, your vibration, where it's at in the given moment, it's like through the choices you made, starting with the thoughts that become words that do turn into action. You know what I mean? And it's just like remembering like little gains or little small wins, little achievements are like those are the real gains. Those are the bigger gains. Winning a lot,
Right.
not a big gain. That's terrifying, actually. But now with what I know, it's not so terrifying. But anyways, now
Yeah.
I did not win the lottery, guys. By the way, I think there's things that have happened and things that I'm looking forward to that would feel like winning the lottery in a sense. And so
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely grateful for that. And yeah, these mindset calls, these transformation calls are they're important. It's come to the call each week and you take away a little something with it. There's a seed that's being watered, whether we know it, like it, or not, right? Like it just, but consistency and the vibration that you're putting, the frequency that you're receiving, right? And the vibrations you're giving back through your daily life with the, what is it? The, oh my gosh, like you did the work, right? Now what's the period after you do the work? Oh my gosh, I'm having a brain fire. But, and not cultivating because you cultivate it, right? Then you do the work and then you,
Oh, I
Harvest.
know. Before
got it.
harvest. I know what you're saying.
Yes.
Oh, it's
Sow,
driving me
reap and
nuts.
sow, and
Yeah.
No, but sow, because sow is when you plant,
reap,
reap is when you
reap the
harvest. It's the in
rewards.
between. It's the
Okay.
in between part.
Wait.
Oh.
Like incorporating,
Yeah,
incorporate.
what's
Wait,
the plant
wait
version of
and
waiting?
water, watering.
Irrigation.
Right.
Oh,
I know what you're talking about, though.
system. No, fuck. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so basically what you take away from and how you incorporate it into your everyday.
Integration,
Yes, there you go. That's it.
Mm.
not plant
There's
related.
there's a, there's an integration period. There's an integration period which is the time between each call. So you're cultivating the call coming up. Now you're on the call.
Mm-hmm.
You're receiving, you're giving, right? And then you're integrating after the call,
Mm,
right back into the cultivation. And it's just, and so that, I don't know, just being aware of that too. So I think that there's value on every single one of these calls. And I love to see this call grow and to see new faces and to see the same faces. It's awesome, man. Absolutely awesome.
Same. Agreed.
I see Brian Johnson up there. Handsome. I was going to say cutie, but I don't want to get too deep. What's up, handsome?
That's funny, man. How are you, buddy?
I'm good, brother. It's good to see you, bud.
Good to see you. Just trying to stay busy. Not trying. I am staying busy.
I was going to say,
So
you guys are crushing it, man. You're working on a flip right now, too, aren't you?
I am. I need to get on it
Okay.
because my contractor got busy. So I'm like, all right, I got to get someone to do tile and I got to get someone to do a closet. It's a pretty quick and simple flip. It's not a hard one. I was telling Jackie about it, but just get it done and put it out on the market. So that's what I really need to do. I
Cool,
need to
man.
talk to you. That's for sure.
Hit me up, brother. That was something I was
I
gonna.
will.
Yeah, that's something I was gonna say too, guys. We're all here, so reach out in the chat. Would love to see you
Yeah.
guys in the chat and reach out. Reach out if even if you're in doubt, reach out. That's what this group is really about. You know what I mean? Not just transforming, but support. There's a support system. There's a huge safe support system. You know what I mean? And one rewire at a time to like better this place. So I think that's why these calls are super important. You get people around like-minded, good people, and spread that, and you gain better hearts, better people, more and more, and could
Yeah.
create a change.
I love it. Well said. Yeah, if anyone else has anything they want to throw in last minute, or we can get ready for the meditation. Of course.
Jackie is psyched about this meditation,
I
man.
am.
Got me just hearing you. Uh,
Me
So
too.
Monica's just so good at it.
Thank you.
Yes, you are, Monica. I love your meditation.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Cue the music.
Got you.
Cool, cool. Okay, so for anybody who's new, if you guys want to turn your camera off, yeah, everybody's turning cameras off, or you can kick it with your camera on. What is important is that you are comfortable. We're gonna close our eyes. And tonight it is important that you place your hands facing up as a sign of receptivity, because as we are more and more grateful, more and more things to be grateful for come. So let's take some very deep, relaxing breaths. As you breathe into your belly, filling your belly, then your chest. And hold for just a moment. And then slowly exhale through your nose. Empty all the way out. As you exhale, release anything, thoughts, feelings that are no longer serving you, that may be weighing you down, blocking your gratitude. Two more deep inhales into your belly, filling up with fresh, air. Opening ourselves up for possibilities and abundance. As we continue to breathe, being mindful of the things in our life that we can be grateful for. Since we're in December, you may want to look back on your year. You may want to just focus on today, this week, this month so far. Take an inventory of the things that you thought would go one way and ended up going a completely different way, and how perfectly that worked out. That was not by coincidence. It's by design. Whether you believe in God or the universe, your higher self, there's a source of power that is working for you, for your highest good. If you are able to put your faith in this belief that all things are working out for you, happening for you, you can begin to reframe everyday pivots, challenges into opportunities to be grateful. There may be people that you met this year that you would have never met if it weren't for some sort of pivot that happened. You may have gotten closer to some people in your life because of a tragedy. Those are all things to be grateful for. It's almost like you're mining for gold. Imagine a sieve and these little moments, these little shiny items of light start to become more and more noticeable. You can mine the good out of any circumstance, out of every day. take the time each day, just a few minutes a day, just to recount your day in your mind from the time you woke up to laying in bed. I'm sure you can find at least 3 things to be grateful for that warm your heart when you think of them. Breathe into that feeling in your heart. Your heart is where your light comes from. Where your energy comes from. If you can hold those times of gratitude, those ideas that make you grateful, and breathe into them, your light will expand, your energy will rise, and as a result, more things to be grateful for will be attracted to you. Your vibration will attract things to you that a lower vibration could never. Try to think of a time when you were really grateful, appreciative, and how light you felt. The smile that came across your face. You can feel the energy. It's higher, lighter, powerful. You have access to that anytime. Your gratitude practice should not feel like a to-do list or something you're supposed to do. You should feel this energizing, warm, light energy whenever you think about things that you're grateful for, whether they've manifested, already happened, or have yet to come. That energy is crucial, vital. You may want to start by putting your hand on your heart when you're practicing so that you really feel the connection. So you can focus on that feeling. So you can create a trigger for whenever you want to come back to that feeling. Bring up that vibration. Let's take 3 deep breaths into our heart. Focus on the gratitude for being alive. Practice gratitude for having the freedom to be on this call, choosing to do what you want with your time. Gratitude for having people that are interested in practicing gratitude together, being supportive of one another, being truly happy for each other. As with each call, especially this one, because I feel like I can see each and every one of your lights shining bright. The light within me sees and recognizes the light within each of you. Namaste. Thank you for joining us. Feel free to wiggle your fingers and toes, crack your neck, stretch a little bit, and slowly bring yourself back to the room.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Man, oh man, that was great. I needed that big time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, Corey, you're glowing now.
Yeah, man, I was like just feeling so good. I was feeling so good. And I still am. That was. I feel so good.
I
And
feel you though, when you're in it.
when you were like, put your hand on your heart, man, I was taking it all in. I was taking it all in.
I'm glad.
Your voice is very soothing.
Thank you.
Yeah, guys, that's it for this week. Same Zoom link, same time every Tuesday. I think next week's call is harvesting the good in everything.
I know,
So,
I tapped into it. I don't know if you caught that when I did the gold harvesting. As soon as I said it, I was like, shit, that's for next week. But it's okay. We'll do some more gold harvesting next week.
I love it.
But yeah, I actually do invite everybody to not make your gratitude practice this like thing you have to check off or something you're supposed to do to make the things happen. You gotta really feel it. There's gotta be sensation and not just thought. Yeah, if you're doing the laying in bed thing, I always put my hand on my heart. And then in the morning, I try to do, even if I don't have a lot of time, I'll close my eyes for just a moment, even if it's just 2 minutes, and get my breathing and really just feel the gratitude for whatever it is that I'm about to write down, because that just makes it real.
I
I
love
just
it.
want to throw that in.
Cool. Very cool. Appreciate you sharing that.
Yeah.
Need to get better at that. Need to journal some more. I need to get back to that.
Powerful stuff.
Yeah.
Very.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Guys,
everybody, thank you.
all right.
Yes. See you
Bye.
next
Have a
week.
great week.
Screenshot the
Until,
5.
bye, guys.
Bye.
Doodles.